What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports. I'm back, you guys, with another video. This video, I'm here with my Florida Gators versus LSU. College football week 7 preview and prediction. I'm going to be previewing this matchup and give my prediction of who will win this game. Now, before I begin, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, upload NFL videos and college football videos daily. So, Florida, coming off of a very big win versus Auburn at home. I mean, they proved me wrong. They proved a lot of people wrong. A lot of people thought Auburn was going to win that game because of how good the Auburn's front seven has been all season. And at the end of the day, it all came down to Bo Nix. I thought you could trust Bo Nix after that performance he had a week ago versus Mississippi State. And he stunk up the joint. And now I don't trust Bo Nix. You see, it's crazy. As soon as I was starting to come around with Bo Nix, he just stinks it up. And I wasn't surprised by the performance. Some Auburn fans were surprised by the performance, but I really wasn't that much surprised, to be honest. Because when you look at the play calling, when Florida was able to stop Auburn for running the football, and Auburn had to go through the air to get back into the game, that's how I knew Florida was going to end up winning this game. Because Bo Nix just isn't there as a passer yet, and he threw 3 interceptions. He threw 1 in the red zone, which was really bad. I mean, it just wasn't that good of a game. And I mean, even his performances and wins versus Texas A&M wasn't really that impressive. Versus Oregon, his stat line wasn't really that impressive. So I mean, I just knew it was a matter of time before this performance happened, and I wasn't really surprised by the performance that he had. But let's give a round of applause to Florida. All-around great game. The defense was very good. And I mean, I don't know if it was Bo Nix having a bad game or if it was just Florida's defense just being good. But I'm going to say it was a little bit of both. I'm going to say because Bo Nix had some really bad plays that he made some terrible reads. And then Florida's defense was just pretty good, man. So, I mean, Florida's defense really showed up. But their defense is really going to have to show up in this game versus the LSU. Because this LSU offense is on an absolutely different level. Now, I know Florida fans coming into this game are feeling pretty confident. Just got a big win versus Auburn. And they also feel pretty confident because they beat LSU last year. Well, let me tell you, Florida fans. If you think you're going to win this game just because you beat LSU last year, that's not the case. Because this is a very different offense that LSU. I mean, LSU is averaging nearly over 50 points per game. They're literally the #1 team when it comes to scoring points. They're averaging over 50 points per game. They're averaging nearly almost 600 yards to offense. They're averaging 571 yards per game, which is only behind Oklahoma. And I mean, these guys are this team is just on the absolute level. I mean, they're throwing the ball for over 400 yards per game there. So I mean, this LSU offense is on a wholly new, entirely different level than the LSU team Florida played last year. I mean, this team can absolutely do some damage through the air. So, I mean, Florida's defense is really going to have to show up in this game and they want to win this game. And let's not also forget to mention that this game is going to be at Death Valley as well. Now, Florida's offense is not too shabby. They're 40th in the nation at the time I'm recording this. They're averaging like 30 points per game, averaging over 400 yards per game on offense, which is middle of the pack in the country. But the defenses, man, LSU's defense is really good. Their defense is just as good as the offense, man. Their defense is averaging nearly only like 20 points per game, 19 points per game. They're only allowing 287 yards per game. And Florida's defense, Florida probably has one of the best defenses in the country. I'm going to say it again. I said it last week. A lot of people were really upset with me about saying this, but I think Florida has the best defense in the SEC. Out of all the teams in the SEC, I think Florida has the best defense. I mean, Alabama's defense isn't really the same. I mean, they have a lot of inexperienced players on Alabama's defense. Georgia's defense is pretty good as well, but I just think Florida has the best defense in the SEC. A lot of people disagree with me about that statement last week, but oh well, I'm gonna stand on it. I still believe that Florida has the best defense in the SEC. We saw it last week. I mean, you got C.J. Henderson, you got Zuniga, you got Marco Wilson back there. I mean, they have a lot of talent on the defense side of the ball for Florida, man. So I mean, when we look at the quarterbacks, you got Kyle Trask, who had a pretty good performance last week. The offense did pretty okay. I mean, he got sacked 4 times, but for the most part, I thought he had a pretty good performance. He passed for like 234 passing yards. He threw 2 touchdowns as well. Joe Burrow versus Utah State last week had 344 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. So, I mean, and Joe Burrow's in the Heisman discussion. So, I think Joe Burrow's going to end up being a Heisman finalist by the end of the season. You also had P. Ron for Florida, who had 14 carries, 130 rushing yards, and had a rushing touchdown. So Florida was actually able to get the run game going for the first time this season, in my opinion. They struggled running the football up until that Auburn game, which was very surprising because of how good Auburn is up front. But I guess that Auburn defensive line just got tired. So, I mean, it was a very good performance on both sides of the ball for Florida. And going into this game, looking at my keys to the victory, what each of these teams is doing to have a chance to win this game. Florida's defense has to get stops on 3rd down. LSU is one of the best teams converting on 3rd downs. They're converting on 54% of their 3rd down tries. So, I mean, this is a very hard offense to stop on 3rd downs. When you look at some of the best offenses in college football, what they all have in common is their ability to convert on 3rd down. So, I mean, LSU is very good converting on 3rd down. And, I mean, Florida's defense, man, they're going to have to be able to get this offense off the field on 3rd down, which is going to be easier said than done because of how good this offense is. And also, they have to limit big passing plays because LSU is averaging 14 yards per pass play. So, I mean, they're nearly averaging over 15 yards every time they pass the football. So, your Florida's defense, you got Marco Wilson, you got C.J. Henderson. Those guys are really going to have to step up in this game, and they're going to have to be absolutely lights out because this is a very dynamic LSU offense. And, I mean, this LSU offense, I mean, they're just getting big plays. And, I mean, it seems like whatever play they call goes for a touchdown. I've never seen this LSU offense this dynamic since I don't know when, man. This offense is very, very good. So, I mean, they're going to have to limit the big passing plays. So, what LSU needs to do in order to win this game is they're going to have to be able to score in the red zone. Florida has the best red zone defense in the nation. They're number 1 at the time of recording this video at red zone defense. They don't allow a lot of teams to score in the red zone. And we saw that when they played Auburn last week. Joey Gatewood had the interception in the red zone as well. So, I mean, this is a very good defense. When you get inside the red zone, most of the time they're allowing teams to score field goals instead of touchdowns. So if you're LSU, you're going to have to find innovative ways to score in the red zone. And also LSU is pretty good scoring in the red zone as well. They have a pretty good red zone offense as well. So it's going to be interesting seeing this very good red zone defense of Florida versus a very good red zone offense and LSU. So the last thing LSU needs to be able to do is they have to protect Joe Burrow. So when it comes to sacks allowed, they are allowing a lot of sacks. They're like 60th in the nation between the 50 and 60 range in sacks allowed. So I mean, in a team like Florida that's very good getting out the pass, they have a lot of good pass rushers on that team. You got Zuniga, you got a couple of other guys there as well who can get after the passer. So if you're LSU, you're gonna have to be able to protect Joe Burrow and give him time to throw because this is a very good pass rushing group that the Florida Gators have on this team. So they're going to have to be able to give Joe Burrow some time to sit back there and throw the ball. So the team I'm going to go with to win this game. This is very, very tough, man. I really don't know who I'm going to choose to win this game, man. I mean, you can make the case for both teams to win this game. I mean, Florida, they match up very well against LSU because LSU isn't really that good running the football. I think they can run the football. I just think they choose not to because they're having so much success through the air. But, I mean, this is a team that matches up very well versus LSU because Florida, their strength is getting after the quarterback and stopping the pass. I think that's the best part of their defense is their ability to stop the pass. And what LSU does well on the offensive side of the ball is pass the football. So I think they match up very, very well. You made a case for LSU that LSU has arguably been the best team in the nation. And I mean, I really don't know who to choose. So I'm going to flip a coin. So we have a quarter. So heads is LSU. Tails is Florida. We're going to do best out of 3. So here we go. So the first one was LSU. So here we go. The last one. Well, here we go. So, LSU. So, the quarter, I had the coin flip for it. LSU is going to win this game. And, I mean, it was very tough. As you guys can see, I had to flip a coin to see who I was going to choose to win this game. Because, I don't know, you can make a legit argument that both of these teams can win this game. But, I mean, the quarter says LSU is going to win. So, I'm going to go with the fate of the quarter. And I'm going to say that LSU wins this game. I think it's going to be a pretty moderate game. I think that LSU wins this game 27-24. And I mean, LSU is playing at home, so they're going to have the home field advantage as well. And I mean, this is just a very dynamic LSU offense, and their defense is also very good as well. So, I mean, I'm going to go with LSU. They're playing at home. Joe Burrow has been on fire, and I think this game is going to be very close. 27-24 is my final score prediction. LSU wins. So, let me know who you guys think is going to win this game down in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos. And thanks for watching.